Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to
Hi,
the
guys.
Wednesday Night Live show. We are back, and Michelle, I wasn't talking about you yelling at me. I was talking like myself. Stop yelling at myself. You know, not you, Michelle.
I know that. I was just giving you a hard time.
Pre-show shenanigans here. Yes,
Yeah.
Lindsay should be joining us here shortly. Lindsay, I might have to make Lindsay a permanent host of the show. Timmy has got concert tickets. He's going somewhere. And Phillip will be back with us next week. But we have a lot to talk about this week. We have the FDA tobacco official has been removed from the latest blow to the health agency leadership. Yeah, I told Michelle earlier, guys, I think I want to apply for the job. I think we all should apply.
It'd be great.
Yeah, I don't have no experience, but they have shown that they hire people with zero. Yeah,
we've got a lot more experience than these people have that they've been giving us.
That's true. I smoked for 20 years, plus I'm vaping for almost 12. So I got, right there. I got the position. They should just hire us.
And we have better health. I mean, we can get to our own, doctors exams,
Exactly. And I do want the parking space closest to the door too. If I get the job, Trump, just like,
exactly.
Even though I am healthier, I don't need to walk any more than I have to. Big tobacco targets exercise. Big tobacco targets Trump in hope and fear of change. Yes, we're going to talk about the Tennessee bill to impose 10% vape tax passes. The Senate with anti-smoking groups in opposition. I got a video. Thank you to Dimitri that had posted it on Facebook. We're going to play that video. And I think Craig's in that video. Mr. Troutman, I think Troutman's in the middle of that video. I think that's him. I think we'll have to. Yeah, I think it is.
It could be. I don't know. I couldn't see it very good on my phone. So
it looks like him. It could be him. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling and what that means to us. We have our own. Everybody has their own opinion. What took place. I think I shared my thoughts. I got a little shit for it, but I felt that we were unprepared and overclassed. And when it came to the hearing, and I get it. Everyone has told me I don't understand law and how it works and all that other nonsense. But we all have that gut feeling. You know what I mean? If put it this way, Michelle, if I had hired those lawyers and I was in court, I would have said, time out. I need to get myself some new lawyers. That's all. And I'm not shitting on the guys. It just felt it just felt like they weren't on the same page as the FDA. And it for me, did it not? I mean, it felt that way for you too, right? I think you brought it up.
It just seemed like they weren't anticipating the questions or the reactions from some of the questions that they were getting, or something wasn't clicking with them. It's not that they didn't know the answers or they didn't have the right answers or they weren't trying. It just seemed like they were having an off day to me. That's how I feel.
And what I find strange about that is that I don't know these lawyers, and I don't know how they've been grilled in the past when it comes to vaping, but you assume they have taken so much crap over the years that they would have been prepared for the type of questions that they were going to get from the justices. And it just seemed like they weren't, that like they didn't have an answer. You ever watch something where someone asks somebody a question in court and he's just flipping through papers trying to, that's not going to fly.
I've played enough sports in my life to know I look at it as a sport thing to me, and to me, it's I know it sounds crazy, but you know, you have good days and you have bad days. And no matter how hard you try and play sports, there are going to be some good days and some bad days. No matter what you try, it's not going to work, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, but this was our Super Bowl, right? Let's compare it to sports.
I know.
This was our Super Bowl, and we ended up being the Kansas City Chiefs. That's how I hate to use a sports analogy there, but that we ended up being the Kansas City Chiefs, and we just got our ass whooped and handed to us. What's going to come about this? I really can't tell. I really don't know. We're still needing to wait to find out who's going to replace Brian King. So that's going to be a big thing. How this ruling is going to come back to affect us later down the line, I don't know. But like I was telling Michelle prior to the show, I feel like there's going to be, whether we win this case and whether we win and get flavors back, I think we're going to see lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit come forward. And I think they're going to go back to this ruling by the Supreme Court. And I think it's going to somehow affect us as far as getting this done. So, and again, no matter what the federal decide, no matter what FDA decides and the federal side of it, I still has to come down to the states. But I think if we would have had the Supreme Court ruling for us, I think it would have helped in that next step when it came to states deciding whether or not to allow flavors into their states. So I just hope, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. Let me make sure I got this right. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. Michelle.
Yes.
No Timmy. Tell me how Michelle's week is going.
It's going, same answer as always. It's been really hot. AC's been on, and you can tell short sleeves, Other than that, we've had a lot of rain. It sounded, we had a downburst that actually did some damage. Not to me. Wow. Yeah, but it was enough to like take out signs and things of that nature. It did sound like a hurricane coming through my windows. And I've got pretty good windows, but it was whistling in here. So yeah, it was a little scary, but everything was fine.
Take that, Timmy. Take that, Tim.
Yeah, the big life of Michelle.
Michelle got scared from a hurricane. Can you top a hurricane, Tim? We'll see next week. We'll see.
So how is your week going?
This week's going good. Yeah, my week's going good. I added a new member of my household. I got myself a dog again.
Cool.
Yeah. I got a little Siberian Husky, little pup. So I spent like $250, almost $300 on toys and dog stuff, dog bowls, bed. He's supposed to be here today at 6 o'clock. He's being delivered.
Oh, today.
Yeah. He'll be here today at 6. So we'll see how much he likes me. We don't know yet. He could not.
What puppy wouldn't? I mean, he knows. Yeah. He knows he's getting adopted. So
yeah. No, I've been putting it off for quite some time, but I've always had dogs. So and it's just like they're just nice to have around. They're nice to have around, and with my schedule at work, it's a little different, but he'll be sleeping while I'm at work. So, and then I'll be sleeping and he'll be like, let's go, but we'll see how that all works out. But yeah, I'm excited to finally have a little dog to go on my walks with. And he won't be a little dog for long because he is a husky. So
he's going to be a full grown, not a miniature, right?
No miniature, full grown husky. Yeah. So he'll be a good, probably 90-pound dog. With my luck, that's what it'll end up being, Yeah. So you take that, Timmy. I got a dog, and Michelle had to bear a possible tornado that shook her house. Just make it up, Michelle. It rattled the windows. It rattled the windows. Her patio was her stuff was in the neighbor's yard.
Everywhere. It was everywhere. Yeah.
Elvis flew by. It was all craziness. So you topped.
And behind that was Santa.
And Santa was like, oh, whoa.
Santa he got blown down from way up north.
Yeah, we all know Santa goes to Florida for vacation. We know that.
He does, yeah. Everybody comes here.
Yeah, he hangs out with the Florida man. They have good buddies.
In the hammock and yeah.
The hammock. Drinking,
no shoes,
yeah.
where his boots go, it gets just bright red, just like
That's
his
it.
suit.
Yeah, a drink with an umbrella in it, of
Yeah,
course.
and he,
Yeah. We
big
all
old,
know. Let me say hello to everyone out there the best I can. I'm not going to do it like, well, you know what? Hello, everyone.
no!
And Michelle Mallory is out there. Don Loco is out there. Robert Lawyer with a Y instead of a W is out there. We got Peggy. Peggy at eSource is out there. Peggy probably saw Santa Claus too. Peggy, were you part of the hurricane that blew through Florida? Just go with it, Peggy. Go with it. Steve is out there. Yes, I will have to I'll have to get a Tesla to get that front space parking spot there at the FDA headquarters. They had
that'd work.
they had the parking issues over there, but I feel if I get the job, I will be an executive. So I probably got a spot somewhere. She saw Santa. See, Peggy saw Santa too.
There you go. I knew Peggy would be there.
Yeah. Tim's got a lot to do, man. We're still cleaning up. Let's see who else is out there. Oh yeah, no, I bet you guys are. That was a mess. Yeah. So we're gonna go into the Tennessee video that Dimitri posted. So thank you, Mr. Dimitri, for posting that video. And I'm sorry, but I think that's Greg in the middle. I could be wrong, but we will find out. You guys let me know in the comments below if that is Mr. Troutman, the pro bono lawyer of the Wednesday night show.
He needs to come back too.
Yes, yeah, we got to get him back on. Right. Okay, that's got to be Greg. That's got to be him.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it's got to be
on
him.
My phone. It didn't look like him. But that does look like him now.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. It is 3 minutes and 25 seconds long.
Please identify yourself. My name is Bill. My wife and I have owned Knoxville Vapor for 12 years. I'm a conservative Republican and have spent the majority of my adult life arguing with liberal Democrats about how the Republican Party is not for profit, greed, and big corporations. But apparently I'm wrong about that with Tennessee Republicans. Because here I am about to be sold out to big tobacco by Republicans. You're about to do to me what I've argued my whole life that you don't do. You're going to regulate me out of business. I expect that from the Democrats. No offense. God bless you. I have to, but not from you. And I have to listen to Republicans make misinformed comments like, you can't convince me that we wouldn't have been better off smoking cigarettes 10 years from now. How irresponsible of a statement. In the last 15 years since nicotine vaping's inception, 7.2 million Americans have died from smoking-related illnesses. No one has died from nicotine vaping. Zero. But this bill basically hands this industry over to those people. And last November, President Trump was elected to deregulate and lower taxes. You're about to do the opposite. And you call yourself Republicans. You're regulating and taxing me out of business. How dare you? As a Republican, I'm insulted. And regardless of your Fantasyland scenario about how I can stay in business selling your mythical list of 400 products, I'm not going to be able to stay in business. Think about it like this.
Yeah.
I own a CVS. You take everything out of my CVS, but the candy aisle, and you think I can stay in business that way? I'd be out of business in 2 weeks. At this point, according to this bill, I'd be better off opening a store and selling cigarettes. That. You leave me alone then. Nobody bother me. Smooth sailing. And I know that dozens of lobbyists from Big Tobacco have swarmed the Hill in the last couple of months. But the only thing you should ever be talking to them about is how to get their product off the market. But nope, you're still coming after me. And that product kills 480,000 Americans, by the way, every year, by the way. I'm not the problem. Even Representative Hawk said that these shops are doing it the right way. We're doing this the right way. You want to get rid of bad actors? You want to get rid of Chinese closed systems? Good, go ahead. My store was fine before they showed up. They'll be fine after they're gone. But leave open systems alone. Leave open systems alone. You're taking a bulldozer to a problem that needs a scalpel. You want to stop youth vaping? So do I. I've been fighting for that with these guys for 12 years.
Mr. Livesey, final statement.
But you're railroading me and handing this over to big tobacco is All right. As a Republican, a taxpayer, and a small business and owner and a constituent in the state of Tennessee, I ask you to vote no on this bill. And Republicans, remember who you are.
Powerful, powerful.
Got me all riled up. I was.
It did. It needed to be said, and you know, it's the same. It's the same thing. They always go after these individuals, and they say, "Well, you're an owner. You of course you have a reason for wanting to sell these things as profit." But you can hear in his voice his passion. He's doing it for the right reasons, and his stores are open, and he's selling product to people, and who's helping to try to quit smoking. And he could care less. He could care less if the disposables are there. They were doing fine. Right. We were doing fine until they even showed up. And I'm not going to go shit on disposables because I used them, and I started using them because it was just convenient when I was hiking, and I just kept using them. But I still use my open systems all the time. I still buy e-liquid, you know. So a bill that would impose a state tax of up to 10% on vaping products, higher rate than tobacco, which that's what I don't get, Michelle.
I don't either.
How do they justify that?
They want the money. That's all there is to it. There is no justification.
That's what I mean. That's what pisses me off the most is, again, we always talk about how important it is to get the non-smoker and the non-vapor on our side. Are they that naive? We all know what tobacco does to people. We all know how many people die every year because of cancer to cigarettes. And yet...
And they do too. They do too.
And yet we're going to go ahead and tax a product that is saving lives 10%, and it's going to end up being more expensive than buying a pack of cigarettes.
And you know, they always say, well, it has to be high because the kids are doing it. We don't want it to be cheap. So they're lower, you know, they're basically putting it above cigarettes, which makes cigarettes cheaper. Come on. They know what they're doing, you know.
Yep. It's just, it blows me away. Banning sales of many vape products in the state by requiring applications for the FDA approval before products are sold in heading for a final Senate vote this week. So it's Senate Bill 763, which has been criticized and legislation weapon for big tobacco to crush competition. And that's what it is. That's the other thing, you know, how everybody knows who's funding bills. There's no hiding it. You know, it's public record who's funding these bills that are coming up, to whether they're in your local, state, federal, whatever. You can see it. It's public record who's funding these bills. How can they feel good about themselves when they see big tobacco's names all over these bills that are trying to be passed, and in justifying a increase of 10% on a vaping product that's going to make it more expensive than buying a pack of cigarettes? Who is this benefiting? Big tobacco. That's
it. That's it. You know, period.
Senator sponsored Ken Yeager, Republican, and again, you know, I hate doing this, and I'm not trying to be full. I don't vote Republican all the way down the ticket. I don't vote Democrat all the way down the ticket. I am an independent, and it's time that we put these two parties aside and try to unify them together, because blaming one and the other, obviously we see what happened here. This is a Republican Senate bill. I don't know who this guy is. I'm sure Dimitri and the rest of the people over in Tennessee know who he is, and I'm sure they've given him an earful and showed him the stats and statistics, and
they don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. We have everything in our favor right now, and that's what blows me away. And now they're trying to say that, well, the increase in youth vaping is due to the fact that Brian King banned all flavored vaping. That's the reason that that vaping has dwindled when it comes to adolescents. And I'm just, it has nothing to do with that. They're not interested. They're not in. They don't.
Right.
They're not smoking either. So obviously, it has nothing to do whether it's flavors or not, or what the price is. They're not interested. They're more health conscious. I can assume, and I'm assuming some of these kids have seen not one but two generations dying, from cigarette smoke. So they're
Yep.
not interested in smoking cigarettes. They're not interested in vaping. They've tried it. And of course, we talked about this on our show. I tried it once in 30 days. So now I'm a vapor. So, I love those statistics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take my orders from Big Tobacco, he says, Jaeger. So Reporters Tuesday. Yeah, I doubt that. He looks like he's a smoker himself. He's got that smoker face where it's just leather.
He does.
Oh.
He does. He does.
He does.
And he talks like one to me.
Yeah.
He talks like one.
If signed into law, the bill would ban the sales of vapor products, including hundreds of disposables and flavored products in Tennessee that are not approved or in the process of being approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Testifying in committee, Dave Nelson, who owns 5 vapor shops, vapor stores in the Upper East Tennessee, said limiting sales only to FDA-approved products would be a step back for people trying to quit smoking. These tobacco and menthol only products fail to meet the needs of the 15 million current adult vapors, 83% of whom prefer sweeter, fruity flavors to stay off cigarettes, Nelson says. We have our polls. They've seen them. I've seen other companies outside of vaping do these polls, asking people, would you, do you prefer a fruity flavor, a dessert flavor, a tobacco flavor? And every time you see those polls, it's the same thing. Fruity flavors, dessert flavors always win out. Tobacco, there's still a few people, that, occasionally I vape a tobacco flavor. I'm sure you do occasionally,
No, I don't. But
a
lot of people do. No,
Yeah.
I don't at all. No.
Yeah, I'll do occasionally, especially like if I'm drinking some whiskey or a brandy or something, or bourbon like that. I want that little bit of tobacco, or I'll smoke a cigar. Sorry, people.
I think the thing is I smoked for 43 years.
Yeah.
And it was heavy, and I've done it, since I was 9. So for the first 3 years, oh no, you weren't, I didn't even want to smell anybody, because I liked the smell and I liked the whole thought of smoking, and I was scared to death that, even after or before the 3 years was up, that I'd go back. So I stayed away from it. Yeah. And I still do, because I don't know, I'm not going back. So.
No. Yeah. Like I said, I'll have one when I'm either drinking something, because I still like to have that little flavor of tobacco, especially when you're like,
bourbon or something. I get it.
A whiskey or bourbon, you want that little, Big Tobacco is panicking as smoking declines and their inferior products aren't selling. No shit, Nelson says. This bill ensures their monopoly by eliminating competition under the guidance of regulations. I mean, like I said, I just don't understand. It's all, like I said, it's public knowledge on who's funding what bills and where this money is coming from. And I think, the people of Tennessee, and I get it. You know what? How many non-smokers really give a shit of what happened? And you got a senator or a congressman, and he's getting a little beef from some vapors, maybe a small percentage, 1.5%, 2.5% of his constituents in his state or his county or his city are bitching about it, but 85% of them could care less. They're not worried whether or not vaping stays alive or not. They could care less.
To me, it's a shame, because we have, everybody knows somebody in their family or at least within their circle who vapes, and they do it not because they're underage, not because, the only reason is because they want to stay not smoking, or they don't want to pick smoking back up. And it's a shame, because everybody out there who sees that also sees how healthy they are and sees a big difference in what they can do, or them not, huffing and puffing, doing something that they like to do. And they need to get out there. And it's a shame that we can't get all those other people who agree with this to speak up, but they
Yep.
won't.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, they're not, because it doesn't concern them.
It doesn't.
It's like,
it doesn't affect them.
Doesn't affect them. It's a tax that they're never going to have to pay. They're
Right.
and they're not concerned one bit or the other. But in the long run, you will, because part of your taxes go to pay for Medicare. So so the less people that are sick, the less money you pay into Medicare, your Medi-Cal.
Right.
So whatever you get, I don't know what it is, but I mean, that's healthier America means a cheaper insurance rate. I'm not a politician, but I am going to be future FDA tobacco executive John Truncali.
I'll vote for you.
Send me an email, do whatever. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go online and start. Campaigning for that position. Maybe I'll send Trump a letter, see if he'll listen to me. I mean, things are not looking so good in Tennessee, and I think that was one of the states that I think for quite some time they've been battling, and it looked like they were going to be
winning,
and winning, and it just, I don't know. Maybe they need to send a Nick Orlando out there and then kick some ass or do something. Get Nick Orlando, if you're out there. Tennessee's not that far from Florida. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Head on over there and maybe take care. And I don't know. For me, and we see. I don't even know how. And we see Nick. We see how Nick goes about doing it, and not just Nick, his whole organization that is out there, Florida Smoke Free Association, and they stay on top of it. They stay on top of whoever's coming into office. When there's, what do they call it? I forget. Where open sessions, they're there. They're making sure everybody sees them, and I'm sure that's what was going on in Tennessee as well for quite some time. I don't know if that's changed. I know Dimitri was a big part of what was going on over there, and Dimitri now is, in Greece, and I don't know if that was a big part of why things were going so smoothly in Tennessee, but there's been some change, and I think vapors in Tennessee are I think are just going to have to hope. They're feeling it, and they're going to hope for the best, and hopefully this individual gets to keep his stores open and not give up hope. I mean, it's just, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a sad situation when you have a product that we all know works great, and it's working, like he says, 15 million vapors, and it's working. And we're a perfect example of how well it works. We haven't gone back. We're healthier. My skin's better, except right now my hands are chapped up because it's really cold in California. Just so you know. Just letting you know. I had to let that one out there. Let's get right into the big tobacco. FDA tobacco. Brian King is gone.
Yeah.
Brian King is gone.
I'm sorry, I still do a little dance,
Yeah, he is gone. Everyone say goodbye to Brian. Brian, see you later, buddy. It was. I would like to say it was nice knowing you, but I'm not going to say that. I wish you. I don't like to see anybody get fired. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to. He didn't. He resigned, or I don't know. He did not resign. He was reinstated. So he's been reinstated. He didn't lose his job. He's still making money, guys. Relax. He's fine. He's not going to have to.
I think he turned it down, didn't he?
Did he? I mean, I think
it was the Indian Health something. Yeah, and I think he turned it down. I could be wrong, but I thought I understood it too. I was reading this. Said no.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was on Grimm's post, but it was this article about what was just took place with the FDA. Reassigned, and someone had wrote, "What did the Indian Health Administration do to deserve Brian King?" What could they have possibly done wrong to have them send him over there? They don't want him. Maybe
they want a good epidemiologist.
Yeah, that is
because
possible. That is possible. Yeah, that
he
is
claims
possible.
to be the best one. So, and he spouts it all the time. So
Yeah, he's always bragging about that spot,
yeah,
but
I'm
uh
epidemiologist.
he still has a job, so you guys don't worry. He'll be fine, everybody. He will be fine. Uh the position is open though. I am going for it. I think we all should sign
Yes.
in. I think we should all send our resumes in and take Peggy E6 Source. Send yours in too. Send the application
Yes.
in to
I'm with you,
FDR.
buddy. I'm with you.
Not FDR, John. Not FDR.
No.
Send it
Kennedy.
to Kennedy. Send it to FDR. If you're sending him an email, he's not getting it. He's dead. He's been dead for quite some time. He ain't getting.
No.
He's not getting that email. But yeah, send it to Trump. Tell him why you want the position, and you got 20, 30 years of smoking. You're a professional smoker. You were a professional smoker. Yeah, and now you're a professional vapor, and so you qualify. Steve, you too. Send it out there. I think we should all send it out there. Washington AP, the Food and Drug Administration chief tobacco regulator, was removed from his post Tuesday. Yay.
Yay.
Part of a sweeping cut to the federal health workforce that has, and now get it, guys, this is an AP post, so it's not going to be pro vaping post. It's going to shit on the whole thing. So I'm just reading it. Don't go after me and Michelle. Okay. No. It's not our words. It's not our words. So I'll finish reading. that have cleared out many of the nation's top. They were top experts, Michelle. They weren't just regular experts. They were top experts overseeing food and drug vaccines and products containing nicotine. The agency's tobacco director, Brian King, notified his staff in an email. It is with heavy heart. I love how everyone always starts that with that. I don't know.
The same words.
I've never used those two words together at any email. Heavy heart. It's with heavy heart and profound disappointment. Now, I have been placed on administrative leave by dozens of other employees in the FDA Tobacco Center. Also received notices Tuesday morning that were being dismissed, including 2 entire offices responsible for drafting new tobacco regulations and setting policy. That's the scary one. See, because it's fine. I get getting rid of him, but it's not scary in a way that I'm like, worried about it, but like maybe in a good way, because it's all new, fresh eyes coming in there that are maybe are going to give us a shot and actually listen to what we got to say. So for me, maybe it's in a good way. It's cleaning a house. Yeah, it looks scary, but this is a part of the FDA. That's not really, it's not
functioning.
It's not functioning, and it's not your medicines. It's not, your food. This is the tobacco part of it. So this is the FDA tobacco. So getting rid of that staff, who's probably been in there for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And some years. Yeah. Some that came in with Biden and been replaced. So, maybe it's a good thing that they're cleaning out house, getting rid of Brian King, get rid of some of his staff and some of the people that have been writing and overseeing vaccines and drugs. And so maybe, and especially those that were drafting new tobacco regulations. So for me, it's like, okay, good. Maybe we'll get some people in there that will give us a break. I'm not going to even say give us a break, but actually read the stuff that we send them and actually look at the science instead of just dismissing it and, just saying, nope, I'm sorry. If you make it virtually impossible to create and draft policy when you investigate the role of the center, Mitch Zeller. Hey, Mitch, welcome back, Mitch. You've been gone for a while. He's the former tobacco chief. Yeah, he's been... don't come back. Please don't come back.
No.
We don't. Trump, don't hire him. Do not hire him.
No.
Do not hire Mitch.
He's only older and more stubborn. No.
Yeah, exactly. Hire a younger, more exuviating John Truncali from Modesto, California.
There you go.
I'll take that front parking space. From a public health perspective, it makes absolutely no sense. Well, we think it does make sense. I think it needs a house cleaning, just like Trump is doing elsewhere, whether it's Social Security, DEI, whether it's the Department of Education. These are all agencies, and whatever your take is on what's going on, that's fine. But for me, this is long overdue, and especially in the FDA. It needs an overhaul. It needs to be cleaned out. There needs to be new people in there to look at things with fresh eyes. And hopefully we get a younger, more, I don't want to like keen to the, hip. No, I don't want to use hip either, but, just, more up to date on today, not
science believer.
Science, yeah, not somebody that's in, hey, I'm not crapping on, 60 and 70-year-old men, but, it's time there's some change, and let me scroll down. Boo. Elsewhere at the FDA, the entire press office, they are all gone, was also given notice. Senior officials who help oversee new drug reviews and vaccines were also let go, according to FDA staff who spoke on condition of anonymity. He didn't want to know. He didn't want people to know he was talking. Because they do not have permission to speak publicly. So, shake up. What do you think? Give me your opinion, Michelle.
I think it's great. If everybody's worked at a company where you lose your boss, and what happens? The next guy comes in and either sweeps the house out and starts over fresh, or he ignores everything that everybody has said, like this needs to happen in order to have a good working, office or area or division or however big it is. Yeah. And it never works. Because they're not listening. Yeah. So if they get rid of all those people that went along with the first guy that now is gone and the second guy that's now gone, if they went along with that and they weren't speaking up then they don't deserve a second chance. Exactly. That's my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I think that with this change, I think, like we've said, having some fresh eyes in there, I think is important. Having a younger, more understanding group of individuals, scientists, doctors, and yes, James, and that is crucial. Vaping is not tobacco. I think that's one of the things that we need to stress the most when it comes to moving forward.
Trump is so excited and gung-ho about which I agree, lowering our budget. And if you think about it, how much extra money have they spent to do absolutely nothing but gather paperwork, collect the money, and throw everything away because it's not meeting whatever they want this week, for proof. Yeah. So, I mean, seriously, but they're paying all these people salaries to do what? What do they do? Yeah. They manipulate science. They lie. Why keep them? Start over.
Yeah. One of the things I was hoping in the beginning when this all took place with Trump and RFK Jr. is not just in the FDA, but all the agencies, just going through them and looking and seeing what the hell is going on, whether it's fraud, whether there's whatever is going on, they needed to dig. And this is one of the agencies I think needs to be really looked at because there's a lot of money. People don't. I know us realize how much money goes through the FDA every year from pharmaceutical companies, big tobacco, you name it. They're paying for these studies, and they're paying for all the research that is being done. And that, of course, it has to have some sort of influence on the decision whether a product makes the market or not. So I think that needs to be looked at. And I think, we don't play ball. I'm sorry. We're an industry that understands how important this product is, and maybe we don't want to play ball. We don't. And on top of that, we don't have pharmaceutical money. We don't have billions of dollars to put into the FDA to do research on a product. Like millions of dollars per e-liquid. That's insane. King, who joined the agency in 2022, has been vigorously cited by the vaping lobbyists for ordering thousands of companies to be removed from their fruit and candy-flavored e-cigarettes from the market. During his time at the FDA, teen vaping has fallen. See, now they're giving him credit for teen vaping falling at a 10-year low. Can we all say it together? Bullshit.
He kind of stole that a few times too, though.
Yeah. It's his only claim to fame, other than
himself on it. You know?
Yeah, other than making a huge mistake and calling a volley vaping related, and that's what got him the job over at the FDA. His
right. Right.
Exactly. And thank you for doing that for us. Now here you go. Here's a nice cushy job over at the FDA. His removal comes just days after the FDA vaccine chief, Peter Marks, was forced out by cited health security Robert F. Kennedy Jr. supports for vaccines, misinformation, and lies in his. I'm not even going to finish that sentence because it's just stupid. I mean, how about you guys out there? What are your hopes that is going to come from this? Do you, Michelle? I asked Google. I said, who could be the next FDA tobacco person? And it didn't come up with any name. No name came up. So,
I think it's probably going to be somebody that Kennedy has worked with in the past. That is a science person or a doctor of some sort.
Yeah.
As far as the name goes, I don't have one. I mean, it could be anybody. But I do believe that Kennedy will have a close relationship with them.
Right.
And, whether that's behind doors or on the golf course or whatever, but he's going to know them and he's going to make sure. Because I do believe that Trump has probably put it in his ear, hey, this needs to be fixed now. You know? Now, whether or not he'll say anything about it is a whole other story. But I do believe that.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I think it is going to be someone that Kennedy can trust and has the same ideas and ideology. I said that right. Tim's not here to correct me. Tim's not here.
You got it right.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'm applying for that position over at the FDA, so I got to get my enunciations right. I might just hire Tim to do all my speeches. But yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be someone that he's going to trust. And I tried to look that up too. I went that search as well to see. It's going to be Dr. Nick Orlando. Yes, I would love that. Hey, Nick looks good in the suit. Come on, man. Nick
he
looks
does.
good.
Big old
Yeah, he's a big Guido. He's a big Guido. We get a good Italian guy up there at FDA. That's what we need. We need a good Italian guy up there.
We got a pretty good broad band as it is up there,
Yeah. Tim will make the. But
I don't want to lose him here. I'm in Florida, and I don't want to lose him.
He can be like Trump. No. He can be like Trump. Go to Mar-a-Lago and then back to DC, and Nick.
That's true.
He can fly back and forth. I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He can do the. It'll be pretty neat to have Nick do the show from the White House.
Not on the front lawn either, huh?
Well, yeah, but the Rose Garden. Can you imagine Nick doing the show from the Rose Garden? That'd be just amazing. These laws are nothing but, especially because it costs $30 for 120 ml bottle of juice. Where I'm at.
There's places like that here, though.
Yeah, that's I want to say that's about right, Michelle?
Yeah. I mean,
it's still high.
Ones. There's cheaper ones, but there's a lot more expensive ones out there. It just depends on the flavors and
the company,
cost, and the cost.
Yeah, because what I've noticed, and I don't know why this became a thing, and it was a few years back, is I think it had to do something with laws, but we started seeing the 120s disappearing and then 100s,
right?
So getting the 20 mils less. I think I actually, you know what, you are right. I don't know how to say your name. And I apologize because I can't read that. And Michelle, I'm assuming you can't tell what the name is, but we appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I paid $18 Flavor tax hurts me. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think I paid 18 for this one. I think it was 18 or $12, something like. And of course, it is the amazing flavor of mango. Mango.
Ooh,
It is mango.
no, stop saying mango.
It is the mango flavor, the number one selling mango flavor in the vaping industry.
This is my
now I sound like a Phil Pissardo trying to push mango. No, I am not Phil Pissardo. He is a paisan, though. He is Italian. Yeah, I mean, so hopefully we get someone with his mindset in there, his ideas. I think we do benefit knowing that RFK does use nicotine. We've seen it. We've seen him having the patches, and I don't know if he vapes, but I'm sure he does vape. But I think he chose to do the pouches because it was during his congressional hearing, right? I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, so he's not going to hit a vape.
Picture. No, I have seen a picture, I believe, a year or so ago, and he was like in his home setting. Yeah. I don't know if it was his house or somebody else's.
I seen that.
And he had a vape in his hand.
Yeah.
Is that the one you saw?
Yeah, that's one I saw. Yeah. I saw that one. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully,
the only one.
Hopefully, there is somebody out there that he has already had some relations with and has the same, like I said, same ideas as Kim on the moving forward. This is a whole different department than the actual FDA, which is going to be taken care of by Mackey. I think it's Mark. What is that guy's name? McKay. Yeah. Marty. Yeah, Marty
McKay
is the FDA commissioner, and then whoever will take over the King's spot. Let's do one more time. Say goodbye. Everybody say bye to King. Bye, King. See you later, buddy.
Bye.
Nice knowing you. Get out of here. Yeah, we don't like him. But yeah, so hopefully like I said, I did the search, tried to see both things. I said, I put in the search, like who could be the next tobacco FDA director, and nothing came back. Do you see Marty taking both positions on? Is that possible? I don't know if that is possible or not, because there were rumors of getting rid of. Now, this is the scary part that I was talking about. Not just the fact, the good thing that, yes, this could be a way for them to get new sets of eyes in there and a new director. But this is also a possibility of getting rid of the whole FDA tobacco thing altogether.
And that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know that he could do it all, but with the Doge coming in and trying to eliminate unnecessary positions, who knows how much responsibility will fall back on him? I don't know.
Don local Italian paisan. That's right, mango. And Homeboy mango is delicious.
Oh, it's old shoe leather that's full of sock sweat.
Yeah, and we don't know. There's only one actual clip of him discussing vape, and that was again during a congressional hearing, asked by a Florida mom or Florida baseball mom who heard it at the bleachers, and I think he answered that question the way she wanted to hear it.
Exactly. He's politicians. Yeah.
That's all I could get from that cat piss. What? Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Are they talking about mango?
No, mango is just, that is delicious.
No. Oh man, I thought somebody was calling it cat piss. I'd be with them on that.
This bad boy mango.
It's just not my thing. Sorry.
Bad boy mango. Pod juice, frozen mango.
See, I like pineapple.
I got
mango.
Juice head mango.
Oh God.
And one more. Maho mango. I don't know how to say the name. Yes, John likes his mango.
All right. In the chat, somebody somebody come up with me and tell me that you hate mango as much as I do. Please,
Nobody.
somebody.
Mango, the best-selling flavor in vape history.
No.
Yes,
It can't be.
yeah, Sad Boy's key lime pie or that key lime cookie is pretty bomb. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I don't like key lime pie. I don't like that pie.
Yeah.
For some, but I love the vape. It's just amazing. I don't know what it is. Oh, watermelon. There you go, Peggy. Watermelon peach.
Well,
Phil
because
Picaro, number one selling.
Because it's Phil, I'll go with that. But at least it's mixed with something else.
Yeah,
not just mango.
Yes, thank you. There's a girl, Mallory. No, as long as that pineapple is not on the pizza, that is
exactly.
Correct. Yeah,
Mallory, you rock.
I've had that one, James. It's really good. It's really good.
Hi, James.
It was like cat piss. Yeah, some people said that. It said that, but I've had people get in my car and go, "Oh my God, are you eating fresh mango?" I've had people, so I think it's people that know what actually mango smells like because it has eaten the mango. Because that's big. Because you'd be surprised how many people have never eaten a mango.
Oh, I've tried them.
Yeah,
I've tried them, and they're still shoe leather with old sweat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, see here, the wave of departures means incoming FDA Commissioner Marty McKay will be confirmed, who was confirmed last week, inherits an agency without many of its top experts. Well, he's getting an agency that maybe had some top experts. Workforce that has been rocked by weeks of layoffs. Only a handful of FDA employees are politically appointed. We knew that. With nearly all of the agency's scientific reviews and decisions overseen by career officials. So it's a shakeup. It's a shakeup in wherever it is. I think it's in, I'm going to take a guess here. Is it Minnesota? Where's the FDA headquarters? Is it Mississippi?
It is Maine.
Maine. That is correct.
I think it's Maine. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the $20 million question. That is Maine.
Oh, I need it too.
Yeah, the checks in the mail.
I'd sink it all back into vape. I'd sink it all back into saving vape. Believe me, I would.
Yeah, checks in the mail. During his confirmation hearing, I don't say his name. McCary told Senate lawmakers he wanted to conduct an assessment of recent prohibition layoffs at the agency. Good for you. Good for you. Neither McKay or Kennedy have said much about how tobacco policy fits into their plans to make America healthy again, despite historical low rates of smoking tobacco-related diseases remaining the nation's leading preventing cause of death, blamed on more than 490,000 annually. In recent years, I don't want to pay for this. Go away. In recent years, the FDA Tobacco Center has been discombobulated, that's for sure, by criticism from all sides. Politicians, parents, anti-tobacco groups want the FDA to do more to stamp out unauthorized vape products that can appeal to teens. Oh, we did that. I mean, have been really paying attention. There was in the beginning, I'm sure you remember, in the beginning, there was this little fight and battle about changing labels and, this is stupid. But I think the labels that I have seen recently, I think have been pretty mundane, basically, the name of the fruit or whatever is in there. The only one I think, juice head. I mean, is this in any way child?
To me, it looks like no. To me, it looks like maybe somebody might look at it and say it was ketchup.
It's ketchup.
But it does. I mean, yeah. But now for me, I personally like a lot of bakery stuff. So I want to know if it's, mint chocolate chip ice cream or is it chocolate chip mint ice cream? There's a difference, and things of that nature. And it needs to, if it just said mint ice cream, I wouldn't buy it. I like the chocolate chip taste in it,
Yeah.
But so it needs to give a description, period.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
we have to have some sort of, it's got to say what's in it. I mean, it's impossible, we don't, remember the old day where the generic boxes where it's just white and it just said bread and just white and it's oatmeal.
Right. Yeah.
We're not going that far. And yes, Steve, Michelle got it. She didn't get the whole thing, but White Oak Campus in Silver Springs, Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you, Maryland. Okay, thank you, Steve.
She was close. She was close, guys. She doesn't get the 20. She doesn't get the 20 million, but
I'm Cajun, so hey, that was close enough.
You can't use that every time. You can't use the Cajun.
Hey, I live as a Cajun. Believe me, I can use
it. Under King, the FDA rejected applications for millions of flavored e-cigarettes, citing insignificant data that the products would help adult smokers. Those rejected have resulted in multiple lawsuits, FDA and vape makers, including one that was argued before the Supreme Court in December. We know the outcome of that one, don't we? So, I mean, it's going to be some changes. If everything kind of goes into play, what I see happening, and this is just me, I see them rebuilding this agency and putting someone in charge and getting some right people in there. But what I see them doing is they need to get some data boys right away. And I think they are going to go after the disposable market in China. I think that's going to be their first move. I really do. I think that's a way of showing the American people that they're trying to control what's coming in. And it's only not just because it's just, the vaping, but we've heard rumblings about them trying to seal up the borders when it comes to fentanyl and some other drugs that are coming in through the border. And, if vapes are getting in from China, that simple and that easy, fentanyl. So I see them going after the Chinese market with tariffs and maybe some other sorts of ways to try to block some of that Chinese vapes from coming in.
I've got two things to say with that.
Go.
One is everything is made in China.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it is.
So they have no argument. I mean, right off the bat, that to me, it's like you're arguing with nonsense if you go any further with that.
Yeah.
Two, while I agree that nobody wants to buy, off-brand stuff, and it should be looked after by somebody who knows what they're looking at and actually tested. Yeah. But on the other hand, what are they trying to push on us? Disposable vapes, basically. I mean, they don't work any better. In fact, the disposables work better, and until they can open up what we have and what we can get here, then they shouldn't be closing off anything that's coming from China, because it all comes from China.
Yeah.
So, they need to open it up first and then decide what they don't want. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. But it needs to include disposables. That's just the way I look at it, because I've got too many friends that are older. And they depend on that.
I agree with you. But that's the way I'm looking at it is just, with the tariff situation and Buy American and all this other stuff that's going on right now, and them needing to show everyone out there that they are doing something about vaping right now without actually doing anything, is going after China and trying to block some of those disposables from coming in so they can get that pat on the back and get some of the anti-vaping people off their backs. And let's be honest, maybe a good portion of us as a community that are still swearing to, the open system and having the ability to buy it. Then I think they move on, trying to figure out a way to get some of these, PMTAs approved and move forward. And I think that's the big step. But
start over. That's the way I look at it. Start over.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea of starting over, but here's my problem with that. Can some of these smaller businesses start over? Now, are they going to want to reprocess all this data that they've gotten? Did they keep any of that data that they've gotten?
They should have kept it. I don't know that they did, but to me, they should have kept it. And the reason being, I'm thinking is, well, who's going to want that data? Big tobacco, right?
Big tobacco,
it's free data to them. And, if it gets thrown in the trash, they might as well get it. So somebody's got that data. I don't, I wouldn't believe for a second that somebody didn't keep that data.
Yeah, I hope not, because I think that's going to make it tough. And I think the process of going through it and going back into them and looking at at some of the stuff that was turned in through the PMTAs and reassess the idea, because the main thing, it wasn't so much. From what I understand, and I could be wrong here, it wasn't so much the data that they got on the actual ingredients and products of the e-liquid, but the fact that they couldn't prove that this was beneficial to be mango, to be watermelon, to be cheesecake. That was the key differences between whether or not something got approved or didn't get approved. Now, has anyone seen the data that the FDA did approve, and why did they get through? What did they do differently? And well, of course, none of them are either all tobacco products or menthol products. So if they're going to start over, are they going to want some sort of data that explains why flavors are important to us and why they need to stick around, and that we shouldn't just have two flavors? And that's what I'm concerned with.
What they should do is start enforcing the law.
Yeah.
The laws that are already here, and then go from there. That's just common sense. They have the laws.
Should be on computers, since that's how, well, we learned that one of the things, you say what you want about Elon Musk, but he's a computer guy, and he's got computer guys there. When he said that some of our computer systems at the federal level were over 50 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, time out. Are we still using tape? Are we still using tape reel over there at the federal level? That's scary.
Green screen. Screen.
Yeah. Are we still using what was the micro slides or whatever they were called? So I don't know, man. Hopefully that's safe. And again,
the floppies.
Again, if it is safe, that's great. And I think if the process of re-going through millions, that's the other part that you need to wrap your head around. Millions of files that were for each product, and to go through all that again would be absolutely nonsense. And I think what if they were to go that route and say, we're going to relook at all these PMTAs that have been applied already, and then tell us why. And hopefully we have the science, and it just can't be numbers. You know what I mean? It just can't be stats and numbers. I'm sorry, Lindsay, but from Lindsay, you need more than that. It needs to be scientific studies that show why it is so important for someone to want mango instead of a tobacco flavor. Why? It's always going to be mango, guys. I'm sorry. Mango or any other fruity flavor. Why is that flavor so important to that person? And I don't know how to go about that. I mean, I don't.
I think that's ridiculous, though.
I do too.
The whole thing. The whole thing of showing that kids aren't going to want it. I'm sorry, it's a flavor.
Yeah.
Kids like flavors just as much as adults do. So how are you going to tell me that my flavor, what I choose, a kid's not going to like? It's not going to happen. Just eliminate that.
Unfortunately, the Supreme Court thinks so.
Well, I know, but maybe that can be changed. I know.
That's what I'm hoping. That's one of the key things there. It's not just, it's not just one federal agency that thinks this. That's important. But again, they're all adults. Did you go to Starbucks and did you buy a regular coffee? How many people still go to Starbucks and buy a regular coffee? No, it's very seldom.
Yeah.
You're either getting a frappuccino, you're getting a mocha, you're getting some sort of flavor because you want flavor in your life. You don't go to the restaurant and order a steak and tell them they'll put nothing on it, no salt, no pepper, no seasonings. You know, I don't eat my pasta with no garlic, no onions, and no salt and pepper. I love tomatoes, but I don't love them that much.
Sacrilegious, right?
Yeah, that's like putting pineapple on pizza. I mean, come on.
Oh.
They couldn't read PDFs. Exactly, Peggy. That's how old our computer systems are in our federal government. It is absolutely ridiculous that we got computers that are 50 years old, holding data that's crucially important to our economy and our whole system. It's insane. Yes. Watermelon peach, the number one selling flavor by P.
Phil's gonna love you, Peggy. I know he already does, but
and I think it's sold at Peggy Esor Cigarettes.
It is.
Phil Pissardo's watermelon peach, the number one beating out Dimitri's flavor. I don't know what Dimitri's flavor is, but I know that Phil's watermelon peach is beating Dimitri's flavor.
Number one. Number one.
Guy on NBC said 1 out of 5 kids vape, which is false. That is very false. Very false. And that's the thing, it's lazy ass reporting that drives me absolutely up the wall. And it's just like, you start reading an article, whether you think it's pro-vaping or anti-vaping article, you start reading it and right away it's an anti-vaping article, but then they wait till the very last statement and then they praise it, and it's just like, how many people get to that last paragraph? Very few people get to that last paragraph. And then to make matters worse, they're using old statistics, old studies, why is it Valley still coming up? That shouldn't even be a thing anymore. That should be wiped out of existence, and no one should be using it to refer to vaping whatsoever. It should not even be in the same sentence or the same paragraph as any article written about vaping, because we all know that it had nothing to do with e-liquid.
Right.
Yeah.
But these don't have any tobacco in it either, and they're still saying it does. And this is vapor; it's not smoke, but they still want to confuse.
Hold on.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm doing my show. Make it fast. Okay, bye.
Tell him no.
My dog's coming.
Hey, awesome!
My puppy's coming.
Hold him up for us if he gets there when the show's on.
If he lets me touch him, we'll see.
Well, he will. He'll just snuggle up to you. Yeah, he's a smart puppy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, that's the thing. I mean, it's for me. I feel that's what we were talking about was the disposables. I'll get back to that. I mean, I think that's the easy alternative for them. The first thing I think they're going to address, only because it's become such a political issue throughout no matter what state you're in, all you see is disposable vapes and how they're upset. I mean, they're even here in my little town of Modesto, they're really hammering them. I mean, every day I belong to a Facebook group page that's Modesto PD, and each week they show what's going on, what they've done, and all this other stuff. And last week they hit like 8 vape shops here, smoke shops. I'm gonna get it right. They're smoke shops, and just fine after fine after fine after fine after fine. We just for illicit products, disposable vapes, so. I feel that that's going to be their first step. I feel that they're going to address the disposable vapes in the United States and find out a way to try to stop them from coming in. Good luck. Or pressure the FDA to approve some of these disposables and some of our stuff. That's, that I think, do you feel, because this is the problem. This is convenient. It is convenient.
It is convenient.
It's convenient. It doesn't leak. It doesn't, it doesn't. I have never bought one that failed. I can be honest with you. And if I hold up all the disposables I have, because I save them, because I put them in a bag and then I take them to a place to dispose of them properly. properly.
Right.
Now, they don't go in the garbage can, people. You put them there. You can take them to Home Depot. Home Depot take the lithium-ion batteries that are in there, and or you could just smash them up and take the batteries out and use them for drones.
Carefully.
Carefully. But yeah, I think that's going to be, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the route that they go, because they're going to want to get that, like I said, they're going to get that data boy right away. They're going to have to do something that's going to prove to both sides, because actually, if you think about it, it does prove a fact to both sides, because there are a good portion of us in the community that would like to see them gone. And then you have a lot of parents, anti-vaping and to big tobacco, that would love to see them gone too, as well. So unfortunately, that's why I see the route that they're going to go right at the beginning, and it's go after somehow, some way, go after the disposables and try to show that they're trying to do something. Good luck. I don't think they're going to do it, because obviously they've been getting in now and they're everywhere. Right. And I mean, the only stores that I've noticed that don't have them, that stick to the views and some of the other big tobacco products, or like the I guess you can call them franchise stores, like your AMPMs, your 7-Elevens. You know, the ones
that's all they sell?
Yeah, they do not sell. You cannot. I have to go.
We have them all over the place here. We have them all over the place.
Well, they're banned here. So in California, all the flavors are banned here. So I mean, you're not going to find these. But even when they were, they didn't sell them. 7-Eleven didn't sell these. They had the number one hated vaping device, the Juul, there. And then they had the Views, and they had a couple other ones that were big tobacco related. But I can go into AMPM. I go to 7-Eleven. You know, I guess they are franchise, right? They're franchise stores. So you're not going to see them in there. Yeah, they're never in there. What else do we got here? What else do we got? Under King, the FDA reject. I read that. I'm going to read it again. The Vapor Technology Association and Industrial Group highly critical of King's leadership. Yes, they have. They did the interview. They got the interview, right? That was who got the interview with King. That's where Allison got to talk to him, correct?
Yes.
Nick Orlando there he is. Nick Orlando for the new FDA tobacco. I think you should apply for that position, Nick. I think you should send your application to Trump. We already decided that you can fly from Mar-a-Lago to Washington, D.C. back and forth and take that position, Nick.
And see, Nick, I've been trying to tell him I don't want to share you. Sorry. Yeah. I don't want to share you, but you know, I get it. People need you.
Yeah, you can get. Come on, Nick. He can fly back and forth. He'll just stay at Mar-a-Lago with Trump and Alana and his son, and just fly back and forth. Yes. Yes. And I said, Nick looks good in the suit too. So Nick
does.
He's ready. He can, and he knows how to talk to people. He'll get shit done. The Vapor Technology Association and Group, Industrial Group, highly critical of King's leadership. I already read that, John. Said in a statement that his removal is the first step to correcting the broke mindset that has crippled the FDA and the Center for Tobacco Products over the past 4 years. Big step. We did. What is up, everyone? We're saying goodbye. We're saying goodbye to Mr. King. Would you like to say goodbye to Mr. King?
King.
Yeah. Would you like to say goodbye to him, Nick? Because you're going to take his position. And you look way better than this guy in the suit. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go.
Much more business-like, you know.
Yeah. You'll get stuff done. Department Commissioner for Food, Jim Jones, who resigned in February after dozens of his staff were fired. Bye there, buddy. The Director, FDA Drug Center. These are all people that are outside of our agency that we don't care about. They're not tobacco related. But yeah, I think it's going to be. What are your thoughts, Nick? What are your thoughts with the cleaning of house at the FDA tobacco? And do you have? I know we're joking. We would love for you to take that position. Oh, you know what? This is bothering me. Let me get rid of this guy.
It looks like a shit stir. You know?
Yeah. He looks like a
shit stir.
Yeah, he's a snake salesman. Isn't that what the title? Snake salesman? Yeah, selling bull
Yep.
crap.
Oil, snake
Yeah,
oil.
snake oil salesman. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick. What do you with this cleaning of house and everything that's going on? Do you think do you have a general idea who you think may take on this position, or is this just a cleaning of the FDA tobacco and just giving it all to Marty as the new FDA commissioner and in charge of the tobacco? Is FDA tobacco gone? Do you think it's going to be wiped out of existence and all be put together with FDA in a whole? Bring Nick on. Nick, if you would like to join us by your pool at Mar-a-Lago, let me know.
If they just take and remove e-cigarettes and liquids and everything else from tobacco and open a new one. And I'm really wondering if that's not why they have done what they've done.
Yeah.
Is eliminate that part of it from tobacco. It's not tobacco. We all know it's not tobacco.
No.
And it's helping people. So, and we all want it regulated. So we need something, but we don't need it included in the stupid laws that don't affect our stuff.
Yeah, see, even Nick doesn't think he will be replaced. It will replace him. I have that feeling too, and like I said too, with Marty, there's really no real general idea where he's going to stand when it comes to vaping. I mean, like I said, I found one, and believe me, I looked for 3 days on Google trying to find anything that he had to say about vaping, and that was the only thing that he ever brought up, and that was what. This year last year at his hearing. So he's never brought it up. He's never talked about it. So we don't know where truly he stands on vaping, but we also do know he is pretty much picked by Trump, and also has said that he's going to work with RFK and help him get through what he has his agenda. And so hopefully with RFK being a vapor and a nicotine user, maybe that helps us some way, somehow. But like I said, I don't know the process or what's going to take place. We're all kind of just sitting around waiting to see what's going to happen again. It feels like 2016 again. It's like someone hit the refresh button. Everything's being wiped out. And then we're going to go right back to the beginning again. And it's just like, okay, we're going to have to reprove everything that we already know. And that's how I feel like even with these new people in here, let's say they bring in people that aren't that educated on vaping, are we going to have to re-educate a new FDA director, a new FDA tobacco director? And here we go. Is he poolside at Mar-a-Lago? Is Mr. Nick Orlando poolside at Mar-a-Lago? And we're going to see I think somebody said that he had. Oh, people just don't know when I'm doing my show. Hold on. Hey, I'm doing my show. I'll call you back. Bye.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, no. Mr. Nick Orlando, all the way from Mar-a-Lago. Hey.
Mar-a-Lago. Hold on, I might have an internet issue here.
I know.
Somebody loves you. Somebody loves you.
Aunt Carol, I'm doing my show. I'll call you back.
Aunt Carol, how you doing?
My friend Nick says, "How you doing?"
I said, "How you doing?"
That's my Aunt Carol. Yeah, I mean, a lot is up in the air right now, Nick. I mean,
but it's good. It's good up in the air. We like that.
It's like the scales of truth. You're not sure. You know what I mean? It could be here in the middle, but it could sway one way or the other.
Hey,
all new fresh eyes is a great thing, right?
It's got to be better than what we got, right? You can hire a chipmunk and do better.
I was actually going to apply for the job, but I will concede my position to give to you if you go in there.
Oh, thanks.
I want that front parking space. You can have it. It's a weird thing, and it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I mean, do you feel that he won't be replaced, and Marty will take on both positions?
So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out, John. I mean, it's a really hard thing to even guess at without a crystal ball, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's just, yeah. I mean, that's the hard thing to guess. I mean, but when you read the article, it wasn't just King being wiped out. It was pretty much everyone.
It was sweeping 3,500 people.
Yeah. Even the press people got fired. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, if you smelled the office, you were done. Right? If you walked by it, they fired you.
You had a parking pass, you were fired.
It's insane. But I was trying to think when I saw the news articles, is there anybody that I feel bad for? Like, is there any 1, 2, 10 people that I would be like, oh man, that's sad?
Mm-mm.
Is there anybody you can think of that you would say, man, it's a shame they lost their job?
No, none at all. None at all. We saw firsthand the lack of work that was being done by the FDA. You know, they themselves underestimated our community, underestimated our industry in a whole. I mean, they
didn't underestimate us. They didn't care about us. They just kind of said,
yeah,
we don't care about those people.
They didn't care, but they underestimated us when it came to PMTAs. They thought we were just going to, hey, what, screw this, we're done. We can't do this. But then all of a sudden they didn't
guess that. When they saw 26 million plus come in, they were like, holy crap, what is going on? We only thought there would be like 2,600.
Yeah.
And they were like, whoa. Yeah. And they got way behind on that. And that's what caused all the problems that we have today.
Yeah, and you wonder why they didn't. The thing that really upsets me the most is we went through that process, the PMTAs. We had companies, owners of industries, companies that put second mortgages on their homes, got lawyers, paid for these studies, all this stuff, and turned that stuff in. And then within a couple of weeks, God forbid, they must have had the best friggin' readers, speed readers at the FDA, because there's no way that the government is that efficient, period. We all know the government's not that efficient, but to come up with a ruling that quickly on all those PMTAs had to make it look really bad. Oh, Nick, don't do that. Oh, there you go.
Well, we found it, John, right? We found it when we started filing these appeals in the appellate courts, like in Florida and Texas, that actually accepted it and called it, fake and arbitrary, capricious. Those words kept coming out. They called it what it was. Yeah. And I'm thankful that Florida was one of them. And, Texas was the other one. You see the Triton case, obviously went through there into the Supreme Court. But 2 out of the entire country, I mean, there's something wrong here.
Yeah. Who's in whose pocket? That's the first thing as a citizen, that's the first thing that came to mind. Even if I weren't a smoker or a vapor, if I had come across that article and read it as a non-smoker, non-vapor, I would have been like, something's corrupt here. I would have said something's corrupt here.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense, right? You're looking at it going, wait a minute. And 2 appellate courts in the entire country caught it.
Yeah. That's
2.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Who's got whose hands in whose pockets here? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's why.
And that's what started, all this corruption that we see today, right? Yeah. I mean, the amount of corruption started with us, and it was terrible that we noticed. Now, of course, from the vapor industry, those that are still around have become, lawyers and doctors and everything else. So it's like they got what's going on. Hold on one second.
Yeah. No. Can I get some candy? No, Nick. That's what my grandkids do. They wait. As soon as my grandkids see me on, they come over. Hey, no, John.
They want to talk. She's like, can you turn the camera away from us?
Yeah.
Like, sure. Turn it toward the grill here. You just walked on it, but that's okay.
They call you no.
Yeah.
Grandpa. Yeah, there you go. That's a good.
But yeah, so it's insane to see that, right? But
yeah,
we all became lawyers, and we now know the laws better. We're advocates. We're almost lobbyists, for crying out loud.
Pretty much.
We
Yeah.
pay better attention to what the hell's going on. Anybody probably in this chat right now could be a better legislator than the legislators I deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane, because that's what they've caused us to be. We're normal business owners, but look what we've become as an industry. And when we see things like that, we can point it right out now. Yeah. So you guys have gained a lot, whether you haven't, whether you're in business, not in business. The amount of knowledge that we've gained in this industry from this beating we've taken for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
We've become experts on a lot of things.
Heck yeah. I mean, I a lot of people that had no idea or care in the world for politics. Not one. Right. I knew people that in this industry that had no clue who their governor was until this happened. Or there's, city councilman, state senator, no clue. But now all of a sudden
they know them all.
They know them all. They know the phone number.
They make educated votes, right? It's like, wow,
exactly.
I'm going to do some research on this person. It's kind of cool.
It's exactly. And for me, it's just, we talk about it a lot, and we always talk about the fact that we need to get the non-smoker and the non-vapor on our side. And that's the key, because what we talk about is a lot of these state senators, whether it's congressmen and stuff like that, they look at their statistics. They say, well, 1% of my constituents care about vaping. 99% of them could care less. So they're never focused on what we were trying to bring to the table. Right. But like Michelle said, everyone knows someone that has died from smoking. Everybody knows somebody. You cannot run into anyone that's going to say, no one's had cancer in my family from smoking. Nope. It's virtually impossible. And it's going to be at least 30 years or maybe even 40 years from now before you can honestly say that I know no one that's died from smoking. Hopefully, I hope to God, 30, 40 years from now, I won't be around.
That's a ways out.
But you could catch me on YouTube 30 years from now. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's a lot of change. And Nick, too.
I'll be watching your shows long after I'm gone.
Yeah, Nick will be, he'll have a statue up there at the FDA headquarters. Nick Orlando changed the world for the good. That'll be
craziness, man.
Right underneath this tag. What are your thoughts on on Tennessee?
Tennessee? Yeah. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's going to be okay. It's going to take a little bit of funding. The TSFA, amazing group of individuals, are doing what they can. I'm in pretty much contact with them at least every day or every other day. And they have it under control. I truly believe after today's conversation that it's time to take the approach that needs to be happening. And you look, I tell all these guys, we're not going to win in committee. You don't win or lose in committee. We win in the off season and the conversations we have outside committee. We can get up there and talk and say the things I vape, I vote, blah, 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 blah. That's not where we win and lose. We win and lose with conversations before and after those committees. And Danny and the TSFA group, Chris and Bill and Teresa and that whole entire group up there has taken that approach, and it's working, and they're doing an amazing job. We're going to see some stuff flying through Tennessee that is going to blow people's minds because we wrote it off until we started changing the approach a little bit. And those guys, they got it, man. And I truly believe that if these guys have a half a brain, they're going to, not the TSFA, but the legislature has a half a brain, they're going to see through the clouds. And I think it's going to change everything. And you guys will see that change here soon. It's going to be amazing.
Yes. Peggy,
yes. Not worried about Tennessee. A little bit worried. I was worried about Nevada. They came through okay, or will be coming through okay. Texas, Montana, poor Deanna and Ron are having a hell of a time.
But I don't want to piss off any Montanians out there, but was there like 1,000 people that lived there?
No.
I'm just kidding. You're
pissing them off.
1,000 people, maybe 3 billion cows or bulls, something like that.
Hey,
I only say
now that
that
you brought it up,
jokingly because I have friends in Montana. That's only why I bring it up.
we
Same joke about North Dakota and South Dakota. I always use that same joke. How many people actually live there? Like 50?
that's all right. We tease people about Georgia and stuff, saying how many teeth.
Oh, teeth, yeah. Let me read this real quick and get your
I was
thoughts
going
on
to tell
this.
you about Florida, man. Come on.
Go.
Read it. I'm waiting. Go ahead.
Oh, no. This will go after.
No.
I like to get your opinion on
It's
this
your
one.
show. You go.
Okay, all right. London, March 31st. Big tobacco companies like British American Tobacco are lobbying U.S. President Donald Trump's administration to crack down on illegal vapes, including via import bans on Chinese devices. Documents showed that the industry consultant said, what are your thoughts on an outside entity lobbying Donald Trump about illegal vapes?
First of all, I think it's fallen on dead ears.
Yeah.
Because Trump could school them all, right?
Yep.
He knows what's right and what's wrong with our industry. He knows that we're behind him if he keeps doing the right thing. He's got the right people in place in his ear. People like Byron Donalds, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, people like, our friendlies like RFK. Those guys are actually friends. So Randy Fine from Florida just got elected yesterday, and Jimmy Patronis.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. DC. Those guys are very friendly with our organization here. They're going to take that to the federal level now. So fortunately, we're getting handpicked to death out here in Florida because all our guys are being pulled up there.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that those guys have been talked to by our group and our members for years.
Yes.
So the people they're putting in place through attrition are already educated to the process and have personal people, staffers that use these products.
Yeah.
So they're well plugged in. So we're going to see a change on a federal level because of the bricks that were laid. This state and the other states that have been handpicked by the Trump administration to move up. And those were two huge wins yesterday.
Yeah, they were.
You guys know it or not, Randy Fine and Jimmy Patronis,
I was watching that.
champions of smoke free. And we've had Byron Donalds up there for years.
Yeah.
But Byron may come back as our governor. We'll be thankful for that. At least we'll get 1 for 2. We'll take them.
I mean, Trump's got to look at this and think to himself, well, why is big tobacco so concerned? That's got to be the
piece. We had the pleasure of having dinner with Nigel Farage. I don't know if you know who he is. He used to be in the British Parliament. He's going back and he's trying to run again. And Nigel is a huge supporter of the industry and uses the tobacco harm reduction products that we use.
Nice.
And that's going to be a huge win over there. So we had a great dinner with those guys and all the legislators from Florida as well as federal 2 weeks ago. And it was in Florida at the Capitol, and it was amazing. So we're going to start seeing the change on a larger scale here soon. The message is getting out.
Yeah.
And, obviously all the people that are here are our industry as a whole has grown worldwide.
Yeah.
Now we just need to change the optics. And I think people like that help change those optics.
Yeah. Let me read this last sentence and I'm sure I'll get a chuckle out of both of you. Tobacco groups, including BAT and Altria, have complained that while waiting years for their own vapes of other products to get permission for sales in the U.S., some vape makers have taken substantial market shares, even though authorities say they are illegal to sell. They're so upset that they haven't got approval. Welcome to the club.
Who says they're illegal to sell?
That's what they're saying. It says permission for sales in the U.S. Some vape makers have taken market shares, even though authorities say they are illegal to sell. So,
Michelle, you go first.
You got to unmute yourself, though, Michelle.
What you got?
Uh-oh, you're out. You're out. Mike's not working. All right, do it in sign language.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. By all means, Nick, go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you. So, who deemed these products illicit vapes? The broken FDA. So they're
Yes.
not illicit because it's a broken process. So
Yep.
this whole illicit vape crap is all bullshit because some friggin' agency that has been deemed false, fake, arbitrary, capricious, whatever term you want to use,
Yep.
deemed it. So all
Deemed
these idiots are latching on to that terminology when it'd be like Dr. Fauci saying it's illegal. Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's not illicit. It's a product used for tobacco harm reduction. So they're using that as optics. So that article, that statement is garbage.
Garbage.
And I have to try to tell these guys here, the legislators, is who deems those products illicit? A bad FDA
Yep.
or a bad Dr. Fauci or what? The CDC retracted anything negative they had to say about the Avali crisis.
Yeah.
So we can go round and round all day. And when you
Yeah.
say things like that, and you have a Republican majority, they're like, you know what? You're right. It's the FDA. How much trust do we have in the FDA? In Florida, our governor didn't shut down all these businesses, and they were supposed to through the CDC and Fauci and the FDA. They're all full of crap. So
Yeah.
I use that whenever I hear those comments. It's like, who deemed them illicit?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we are
I agree
willing
with
to
you,
have.
Nick.
Yeah, we're willing to have an open market, but we'll go our product against your product. Make it fair. You want to have a fair, open market. You want to put your stuff out there and try to sell it with our stuff. We'll see what happens. You know, if your stuff is better, I'm sure people will buy it. And it's it's a fair fight. Give us a fair fight. That's all we're asking for. You know, instead of trying to wipe out a whole industry so you can profit, because you're noticing that the cigarette sales are declining over the last 5-6 years. So you're trying to jump on in that market. We want to have fair competition. Put your product out there, put our product out there, and see what happens. You know, if you make a better product, people will buy it.
They're planning for losses as they've seen over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
They're scared to death, right? They're definitely scared, which is why you saw 40 bills pop up this year in our country.
Yeah, it's been insane.
They're scrambling. They don't know what the hell to do. So we turned it around and pushed 2 positive bills in Florida.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Let's take 2 bills and write, have them written by a drafter and get them to some legislators. And the legislators did an amazing job presenting them and putting them up. Now, they're not perfect. So our goal is that they die. But you know what? By creating the bills, we went on offense and we'll let it die. We'll let it die. I don't care. That's a win for me because nothing bad came.
Yep. Yeah.
So now our goal, because they won't take a couple of amendments that our legislators pushed, both in the House and the Senate, we're kind of going against it now in the background, saying we don't really want these bills. So it created enough problem for the big tobacco folks to where they don't know what the hell to do. They're like, wait a minute, what?
Distract them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to start going on that kind of offense thing. And eventually we may get a good bill.
Yeah.
But ours was 21 and over facilities can promote, sell like vape shops.
Right.
Gas stations can still sell the product, but they can't promote it and they can't advertise it.
Right. Yeah. So no signs out front or in the windows. Yeah.
Nope. And big tobacco approved products can.
Yeah.
So our bill said non-PMTA approved items can be sold to 21 and over facilities all day long. But in a gas station, they cannot be promoted or advertised or sold.
Or,
Now, which basically said, you know what? All the PMTA non-approved products can be sold in Florida.
Yeah,
Right.
Florida. Basically, yeah.
Right.
You like that? I mean, the FDA, so what? They're not enforcing anything. So why not take it into our own hands and start regulating at our state level?
Yep.
And that's the approach we took this year. And again, when they started creating things like a 500-foot rule within a school and people have to move and all that, it started getting convoluted a little bit. So we're like, we probably don't want to push it too hard, but we created enough of diversion. Now, our session ends in May.
Yeah.
May 4th. So we've still got a ways to go. No new bills can be introduced. And we're hoping that big tobacco doesn't come in and start pushing. But we pissed off some people. Artria, RJ, they're mad as hell.
Good. Good.
But they're fighting to keep our bills down where we're used to doing that. So we're going to let them fight it out.
They're having issues with it now instead of us.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
put
That's
them
awesome.
on defense for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
read
got to
there.
feel good from
Yeah,
your
heck yeah.
perspective.
That's why he should be the new tobacco FDA director. That's why I'm
It's not
saying.
going to feel real good until May 5th.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Get him a nice, get him
So,
good.
so
Some
I
nice
got time
food.
to put my red dress together and, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got
Well,
it.
we'll have a big party when he gets the job. We'll still celebrate.
John's
Yeah.
house.
Johnny, in my house, you guys got the better weather, man. We've been freezing over here. Despite
It's been
efforts
hot here, huh?
Despite efforts to stem the flow of unauthorized vapes, they currently dominate the market. BAT estimates last year the unauthorized disposable vapes accounted for 70% of almost 10 billion pounds. They're using pounds here, which is 12.93 billion worth in U.S. vape sales annually. Tobacco companies say this has hit their own vape and cigarette sales. Oh, poor babies. U.S. authorities have said that the unauthorized vapes included products made by Chinese firms are illegal to import into the U.S. or sell or sold here, or sold there, I should say. BAT and Altria have expressed optimism that Trump's government will address these issues.
Nothing like wishing it into the atmosphere. Those asshats, their own vapor products are made in China.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said. Yeah. I mean, it's all made over there. So.
And their liquids Chinese too.
They're liquids Chinese.
Right.
Yeah. Is this just, in a way, this is great to read because it's a sense of this, they're scared. They're finally seeing the light here. And
They
hopefully,
basically came out and admitted, John, why they're fighting it.
yeah, exactly. And that's what blows me away. We talked about that earlier. Is just like, how does the common person not see, what's going on when big tobacco starts funding bills and putting money towards these bills? You see, it's public knowledge. Like I said to Michelle earlier, it's public knowledge who's funding a bill. It's not like you don't know who's funding these bills. Whether, like I said before, everybody knows someone that has died from cigarettes. So you're telling me if you read a bill that's trying to be forced on you, and it says you're going to charge 10% increase in tax on a vaping product, which is now going to be more expensive than tobacco product, and then you see Altria, you see big tobacco's names on there, how do you not, as a citizen, say, you know what? My great-grandfather died from cigarettes. My dad died from cigarettes. My mother died from cigarettes. Why is Altria funding this bill? What is their goal in this?
You do see that as a citizen.
Yeah.
And until a citizen becomes a lawmaker that doesn't take money from big tobacco, things don't change.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So
That's true.
those people get paid to file those bills.
Yeah.
Those people get continuous payments to the tune of one company sending our legislature $2 million in one session.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when you're talking about those numbers, they don't want to lose that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless we take their seat away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where the community picks it up and goes, you're going to lose your seat. Therefore, you can't collect money because you're going to be worthless to big tobacco. And when that happens, we'll put somebody in there that can benefit from our funding and our message. But, you approve 29, 26, however many friggin' cigarettes, combustible cigarettes the FDA approves. But yet you don't approve one vapor product from somebody who's actually, when they say all this stuff about vapes and they're illicit and sell it, you can't stop it. It's done. You missed closing that Pandora's box.
Yeah.
They're being used, they're sold on the market, they're helping adults. Now regulate it. Don't take it off, but regulate it where it can be sold. Because the moment you pull it away, now you create a black market.
They created the black market.
Now you got bigger problems. So
Trump knows that.
You're not calling it back. There is no do-overs. It's too late. We're past that.
Yeah. At least, authorize Phil Pissardo's watermelon peach, the #1 selling fruit flavor in the whatever line it's called.
Well, thankfully, we don't have the open systems included in anything crazy here in Florida.
Thank God.
I know. We are. Thank you, Nick.
That was you, not me.
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hopefully with some of these changes, and hopefully we see some positives come forward. I mean, with the Supreme Court hearing, I was a little not. I'll be honest. I wasn't surprised by the outcome. I had a good feeling that we weren't going to win that. Did I think we were going to get a 9-0 run out of it? No, I thought at least one or two judges would.
It's not over. You know that, right?
Right.
I'll say this. Page 19 of that document says everything you need to see.
Oh, page 19? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
It's a very, very strategic, pointed statement by one of the judges. Page 19.
I'm writing that down.
You'll see exactly what it is, and you'll go, aha. So it's not the end. It's going to continue. It talks about the FDA's process and how they have to prove to them how it was unachievable. They use the term arbitrary and capricious, which I hate using that term over and over, but that's the term they use. And they say you have to prove that that was done. And that is quite simple to prove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was a blanket market denial for everybody.
Exactly.
Every Not single one. So, yeah.
So they hung themselves when they didn't approve like 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They did none. So
none.
That page 19 sums it up, and there is hope. And that's a good thing.
Peggy says, don't tease us.
I'm serious.
Yeah, well, I'll have to pull
you
it
guys,
up.
All we got to do, right? And I've said this for a while. We got to outlast it. Outlast the beatings, right?
Yep.
And once we do, even like in legislative bodies and states, you're starting to see younger legislators come in that are touching these products.
Mm-hmm.
Things will change. We got to outlast it. We got to keep fighting. Keep fighting. You don't have to look for a win. Just look for staying alive.
Yeah.
Long enough to get to the end to where these younger folks are up there and these old bats are out of here. They keep taking the money from big tobacco. And these younger guys say, well, I use those products. My mom, my friend, my this. Right. And they understand it. We just got to last. That's all we got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Fight until you can't anymore, but try to last.
I'm going to try to find that PDF.
And as long as there's smokers out there, we all need to last, because everybody deserves to quit. And they need the right information in order to find the right thing that helps them.
That's right, Michelle. And you can tell it's working when we're pissing off people like big tobacco, reaching outside the British American, and all those folks.
Yeah. We have pissed off every group there is out there, basically, except the scientists that believes in this because they've seen the science, But we've pissed them all off. So
keep beating the drum.
It's like the ant or the beehive. We just keep whacking that beehive and they just keep buzzing around.
Unfortunately, they've taken quite a few out. So we got to keep going.
Yeah.
We can't let them take more people out. We've lost advocacy groups. We've lost great advocates. Yeah. We've lost a lot of people because they get tired. But you got to stay in the mentality of, we're not going to win. Don't look for the win. Just look for just making a little dent here and there and staying alive. Right now we're surviving, staying alive. The time will come when we win.
I'm going to be around for it. That's for damn sure, hopefully.
Love that attitude, Nick. Love it.
Getting better.
That's why he's the future FDA tobacco.
It's not easy, I know.
He's gonna.
No, it's a pain in the ass. I never thought I'd be doing this. I was just a shop owner, man. I didn't know I'd be doing any of this crap. I'll tell you that.
I'm just a housewife,
I'm just some Sicilian guy from Modesto, California.
I don't even have a degree, guys. I mean, and here I am.
I'm already picturing Nick on Air Force One sitting next to Trump flying over from Mar-a-Lago back to DC there.
Wouldn't that be cool?
And then doing this show from the Rose Garden instead of his pool. He'll be at the Rose Garden. Oh my goodness! What else?
Go to Miami and talk this crap for 3 days.
Yeah. What else is going on with you, Nick, in Florida there?
That's it, man. We're deep in the middle of it right now. Legislative session. We're dealing with, trying to help out other states the best we can, trying to keep these bills kind of in the container. with no negative legislation and just living it out and trying to work on the AG's list that we took on last year. It seems to be slowing down, but everybody's still making money and staying open. So that was our goal last year, is let's let the AG have a list. She's gone, thankfully. So he did us a favor by taking her out of here. She's up there. Good luck to him and the Trump administration. But we got a great AG now, man. He's amazing. And this AG worked for our governor during the 2020 veto. So he knows us very well. So we feel like we're in a very good position with the Attorney General's office in at least having a sit-down conversation and impacting those lists that they keep putting out. And we saw it last month where it slowed down. Our goal is this month take a little bit more off, but the things they're putting on there are essentially irrelevant on our store shelves and any store shelves anymore. So, you know, as planned, we our businesses are open. People are opening stores. The industry's doing well.
Nice.
We just need to get more people in the fold here that understand what's going on and who's, you know.
Yeah, no, she is toxic. And Nick froze. It's the Mar-a-Lago internet. It's not that good. I told Trump to get fiber
Florida
optic.
in general, it's not that good.
I told Trump to get.
There you are.
I told Trump to get fiber optic. Without naming any names, Nick, have you ever gone into a startup session and someone looked at you and just said, "Put their head down"? Just knew it was Nick's coming and just said, "Here we go." Don't name names, but I'm sure it's happened.
I'm finding it more and more, but it's usually the opposition, and we bridge both sides of the aisle. So we're very bipartisan. I don't know, is my internet blanking in?
It's going in and out, but you're okay. Okay.
So we work with both sides of the aisle. We're not. This is a bipartisan thing. People dying for cigarettes, right?
That's right.
The cigarette companies don't say, "Are you a Republican or a Democrat?" They just kill you.
Right.
So we work on both. But where I see it is when the ants lobby team is there or the big tobacco people are there and they're just like, "Oh, geez, here we go again, these guys." And it's like, yeah, we're going to do what we're going to do. It's just a different message.
So,
you know.
Well, I'm sure everyone.
It's about tobacco harm reduction. And we just keep
That's it. I'm sure everyone in Florida appreciates everything you're doing.
We do.
Florida Smoke-Free Association. And eventually you're going to be the FDA tobacco director, and everything is going to be just fine. That's how I look at it. I'm going to start the hashtag on Twitter.
What are we doing here?
I'm going to start the hashtag on Twitter.
We can still hear you.
After the show's done, I'm going to hashtag Nick Orlando FDA director, FDA tobacco director. That's that new hashtag.
Better now. I had to turn my Wi-Fi off, but. So I got a text from the great Peggy from eSig Source that said you guys were talking about me, so I had to get on the chat. I thought you were talking trash.
No. She sells.
No. She sells. They're talking about how good you look in a suit.
We had you already.
We actually did.
We already had you taking the job. We had you dressed in a suit. We had you flying from Mar-a-Lago to Washington D.C.
You guys are too kind.
Doing the show from the Rose Garden. Heck yeah, getting that.
You got a lot of people behind you, Nick. You have no idea.
I do have an idea, because I'll tell you what. Number one, I couldn't do this because I'm really shy, and number two, I wouldn't want to do it. Right? If I didn't have people backing me up and pushing me. The support that you guys and everybody else gives me is the motivation, because I'll tell you what, I'm not good at this. Anybody else could be just as good. I don't know why nobody else will take this, but it's not, I don't possess any special thing, but you guys and all the members.
And your wife. Your wife is number one to me.
She helps me out a lot.
Awesome.
And we did. It was a couple shows ago, right? We put your picture up, you and your wife, and we congratulated you guys on your anniversary.
Oh, how sweet! Thank you. Look, during this time, I don't even get on. I'm home because I'm heading to Miami.
Yeah.
And when Peggy texted me, I'm like, oh shit, really? I haven't been on there like with you guys in forever.
Yeah.
I dial in when I can and hang in there, and then all of a sudden,
well, we
Something
appreciate
happens,
it.
huh?
Anytime you can jump in with us.
But
After the sessions relax in May, we'll have you back on. And
May 4th, buddy, May 4th. I'm counting the days.
And you know what happens on the 5th? We'll have. I got tequila here. I got some Patron. We'll get.
There you go.
It's Cinco de Mayo. We get May 5th. We'll have the show. We'll have a Cinco de Mayo party.
There you go. You got May the 4th be with you, Cinco de Mayo.
That's right. That's right.
And then on the 6th, I got to start working again because that's when the real magic happens.
You might not recuperate from the 4th and the 5th to start working on the 6th.
No, this session didn't end from last year, man. It just kept going. It's crazy.
No, you haven't
the whole
stopped.
off session, I was in Miami hanging out, meeting with people.
Yeah.
It's crazy anymore.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it. I don't hate it, but I sometimes I do.
You've grown accustomed to it and you've gotten good at it, and it's something you enjoy. That's the difference.
The thing is, I can talk to people normal. I'm not polished. I tell you like it is. When they ask me questions, it's like, look, man, I'm just a store owner.
Yeah.
I want to do the best I can, you know. And
but that's what people like, because I would feel more comfortable getting my response or an answer from someone that is in the industry and rather than someone who's going to use scientific terms and terminology that I'm going to be completely lost in.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's great what you do, because you're sharing it the way that I'll say the common person understands how vaping works. It's not a scientific thing. You don't have to be a professor at Harvard to understand how this product works, you know, but yet that's how they explain it on their end. They make it so complicated, so hard to understand that there's fear involved. When someone doesn't understand something, that's the first thing that your mind goes into fear. It's like, oh, I don't know what that is. But when you have someone that explains the product to them and how it works and what's in it, and in a common way and more understandable, that person feels a little bit more safer on using the product. That's the reason I started. When I started, I saw vaping, I typed it in there, and this is early days. And that time when you typed in vaping, you had 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 6 pages of nothing but you're going to die and blah, 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 blah. So I was like,
even back then. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then you see the negative media, and this year we were really fortunate. We got to meet both House and Senate leadership for the next 5, 6, 8 years.
Yeah.
And had a long meeting with them, no 2-minute warning, you're on the clock.
Yeah.
We met with them all separately, right? And it was leadership. But then the legislator that wrote the bill came to my store. He said, I'd like to visit. And it was great. And I broke it down for him, showing him all the props and systems and everything.
Yeah.
He really understood it because he was big on banning all these things.
Yeah.
And I put the difference between, what we have and what Big Tobacco's products are. And we got to meet customers, and it was really good interaction.
I mean, Nick, it's really a simple product. It's a pretty simple product. There's not a lot that goes into it. I mean, it's not like, you need, like I said, it's not like you need to be a Harvard professor to understand how this product works. And you don't need to be a Harvard professor to understand why flavors are so important to adults, whether, it's
simple.
It's simple. I don't stop liking chocolate ice cream because I'm 50. Oh, I can't have that. Maybe because I might have diabetes and I shouldn't eat the ice cream. Yeah, but I'm not.
But you still can do this. That's just it. You still can.
All right, guys.
And then we sometimes put these guys and gals on pedestals because they're dressed nice and they're on a committee.
Yep.
But when you talk to them, we need to realize, number one, you've elected them to that position or somebody else has.
Yeah.
And they are normal people. So when we talk way up here with stats and numbers and 29% of youth and all that stuff, it's great in the right forum. But know your audience. And once you know your audience, you need to key in on the normal stuff. Like exactly what you're talking about, guys, is that we can't put them up on a pedestal. They don't understand us. We need to bring it down to them.
Yeah.
You guys, as I said earlier tonight, are much more efficient in navigating this industry than anybody on a legislative body.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people in the chat have been around for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
They watch the industry grow and grew with it.
Yeah, and
we
all they've heard is
way over their heads because they lose it.
Yeah, and all they've heard over the years, all they heard over the years is nonsense and lies, and just false information that's just been fed to them, and that's all they know. And then when they have someone come around that actually explains it to them as a normal person, and like Nick's saying, not putting them on a pedestal, they're not rock stars. And even you shouldn't even put a rock star on a pedestal. My dad always said to us, who's that guy you look up to? It's always your father. It should always be your father. It shouldn't be some superstar. It shouldn't be some actor. It shouldn't be some, the guy that raised you, put a roof over your head, fed you, made sure you had clothes and got to school and did all these. That's the guy that you should be worshiping, not some rock star, not some athlete. But yeah, you're right, Nick. When you talk to them as a normal person and treat them as a normal person and help them understand that here's my information. This is what you've got from Big Tobacco. This is what I know about my product.
And I changed my mindset now when I talk to these guys for the last probably 6 years. It's less combative and more informative. Yeah. No matter who they are. It's always information driven.
Yeah.
This is the product. This is what it is. This is open system. Because we get freshman legislators every year. Yeah. One year we got 42 of them, and I had to try to hit all of those people.
Oh man.
So when they come in fresh, you want to hit them as freshmen.
Yeah.
And kind of get in their ear early.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot more younger ones that kind of understand the concept.
Yeah.
But you still have to walk them through from when before this was what it is today. Where did it start and why did it start?
Yeah.
And why, did most of us get into the business?
Yep. All right, guys, we're done. Nick, thank you for joining us again.
Thanks so much, Nick.
Yeah, look for the hashtag on Twitter. It'll be Nick Orlando for FDA Tobacco Director. It will be the
Don't
hashtag.
Do that. You guys are, man, you'll get burned.
Don't do that.
And I'm gonna tag Elon and Trump to it, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if a limo shows up at your house and Trump's like, come on, and just put you in the car and takes you to DC.
I think they'll be at your house putting you in a jacket.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody on the chat. Peggy, thank you. Steve, Microwave Oven, good to see you out there. Steve Troutman, James R., Don Local, our little paisan out there as well. Who else was out there? Mallory Gates and Michelle. Yeah, and Michelle.
You had a crew on tonight. All the A-list.
Hey, you can't try to say that name, Nick. Can you see it?
No.
It's Chinese.
We don't know how to say it.
That's Fugazi.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Great weekend. And we will see everybody next Wednesday. That's my door. That's my dog.
So much, buddy.
All right.
Thank you. What are you talking about?
Oh, you do it all. You do it all for us.
All right, guys.
Love y'all.